Hey, Parkside family. A question that I've gotten asked a lot lately, and probably every pastor on the planet gets asked, is, hey, when are we going to be able to meet again? And I think there's actually two questions there. I'm going to give two questions and two answers to it. And the first one is, hey, when are we going to be able to meet in person like we used to again? And the answer to that is, I don't know. Obviously, as COVID spreads or doesn't spread, and the rules in Southern California, and specifically, even Oceanside, come out, hey, we're gonna follow those. On top of that, we meet in a school, and that school is closed, and for sure said we're not able to meet. That's actually been an incredible blessing for us, in that instead of having a mortgage that we got to pay every month, we now are able to save on that rent and give it towards other needs in North County, the West in the world, and that's been really cool. We've done some amazing things. You'll keep hearing about more with that. But let me read to you a real important passage that speaks to this. It's found in 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 13. It says, submit yourselves for the Lord's sakes, this is because of God, to every human authority, whether to the emperor as to the supreme authority, or to governors who are sent by him to punish those who do wrong and commend those who do right. So he says, hey, one of the ways for God's sake that we honor him is by honoring our governing leaders. You might go on, well, I don't agree with my governing leaders. I'm not even sure they're a Jesus follower. But it's interesting in this passage, he doesn't say, well, if they follow Jesus. In fact, in that culture, man, the supreme leaders, they were like taking Christians and putting them in Colosseums and having them die and kill each other. People were getting crucified and burned to death. We're not going through any of that stuff. Yet still in that culture, hey, this is said, we're supposed to honor our authorities. So in our culture, one of the ways as Jesus followers is we're supposed to honor our authorities and what they're saying. And so, man, I hope it's soon that we get to come together, because I miss you guys, but also want to say, hey, we're going to wait and we're going to follow what the government says, because that's what scripture calls us to do. But there's a second question too, and I think that is, hey, when are we going to meet? And the answer to that is now. We need to be meeting now. And you've probably figured this out, that an online service on YouTube is insufficient for the community that God calls us to as Christians. It's not as good. It's like, yeah, maybe it was fun the first couple of weeks watching in the living room and seeing a couple people put on the comment section, hey, I'm here. But it's nothing compared to a hug and being all together in the same room and in community, which is why we got to press into community even more now. And if you felt like in the past, hey, showing up on a Sunday is enough for me to be the church, that's greatly being exposed right now. And just being in a Sunday service is not what God's ever talked about when he talked about being in a church community. Part of that is we're called to pray together. And here's a cool thing. We are praying more as a church now than we ever did when we could in person. And if you're going, I really want our church to come back together, but you're not praying on Sunday nights with us, where people are going anywhere from 30 minutes to 3 hours, where it's incredible community, then you need to join us in that. Also, hey, next week, we actually will be in person on the 24th. We're doing this COVID car rally. Could be the best thing we've ever done as a church. And man, don't miss that. Man, make sure you go, hey, I'm going to step in, and we're going to do something really profound and awesome in people's lives next Sunday. And then third is we're starting a new series the last week of May called The Way of, hey, what does God really call us to? And a couple weeks in, we're going to launch out into a ton of different life groups. Really, we're saying, hey, 2, 3, 4 couples or 5, 6 people coming together is going to be massive. Don't miss that. That's more church than ever what we do on Sundays. And as you look around the world, actually groups of 15 people, man, is called a church. And those are the places where it's exploding. So when are we going to meet in person? I don't know. Hopefully soon, but we're going to follow the authority. When are we going to meet? Now. There's no excuse. Hey, we're doing that in some ways even better than maybe ever before. Hey, love you guys. And hey, we will see you soon. Thanks.